Well, I've finally taken down all of my winter decorations that I had after Christmas. I had up my winter village and I had some snowmen up, and I was ready to take it down and just add in some of the decor pieces that I like to have out just in general. So I love the cottage kind of feel, just a cozy vintage items. I love antiquing and those type of items. I don't know that I have a specific decor style. I just like the cottage and cozy feel. So today I thought I would share with you some of my top decor pieces that I like to use when I decorate my home as you come with me and I decorate a few shelves and just different areas in my home. I didn't buy anything new for this Decorate With Me video. I just raided my decor closet that I have downstairs where I keep all kinds of knickknacks, baskets, plants, just frames, all kinds of things that I like to decorate with. So I pulled a bunch of different things out that I like to decorate with. And then I'm starting here in my dining room, and I had already taken down everything that was winter related, and I was basically just starting with a blank slate. I love my white dishes that were my grandmother's, and I just think they're so pretty here against the brown wooden hutch, and they are just a nice backdrop for adding other things. But I'm just right now in between seasons and holidays. I really just wanted to have a kind of blank slate, so I'm going with the white, and then I'm just going to decorate the top of the hutch and then also a little bit on the bottom. But before I could do any of that, it needed dusted pretty badly. I hadn't dusted it in about a month, and it was definitely time to get a good dusting. So I'm going to work on that first. One of my go-to decor pieces are baskets. I love baskets. I think they provide so much texture and warmth. They come in all kinds of different sizes and shapes and even colors, and they just are a really great piece to add to your home for decor. You can hang them on walls, you can put them on shelves, or on the top of a hutch, as I am here, and just adding some greenery to it. But I'm going to use baskets throughout my decorating today. But baskets are also relatively inexpensive, especially if you can find them at secondhand stores. That is where I found the best deals. Next up, I'm going to be decorating down here. This is where we keep a lot of our homeschool books, and I decided that I wanted to add a picture of my kids. So I just printed one off that I had in my phone, and that made just for a fun and inexpensive decoration here on the hutch. As we move into the living room, I wanted to decorate my two shelves up here, and then also on my trunk where I have my plants. It was just looking a little bare, and I felt like it needed a little something extra over there. So those are the two areas that I'm going to focus on decorating here. But first of all, of course, it needs a good dusting. So while everything was taken off of the shelves, I went ahead and dusted the shelves area to get it really cleaned up and ready for decor. I love to use an all-purpose spray that I can use to dust wood, ceramics, even electronics. I've been using that for probably 10 years now. It's my favorite dusting spray. On this shelf, I have a few of my go-to decorating ideas, and that is an open frame. I love adding open frames to the back of a shelf just to give dimension. And then also the picture there with greenery. Usually I like to put in real greenery from my yard. I'll just cut a branch or 2 or 3 and stick it in some water and it'll last for weeks. But right now I'm using faux greenery because that's what we have here in Nebraska. Everything is dead. And then another item is books. So you can see I have books on the top shelf and on the bottom shelf. Some of these are old books. Some of them are newer books that I've purchased and I've just taken the jackets off of them. But books are such a fun way to add in color and add height and just different dimensions. You can lay them on their sides. You can stand them straight up. And that's what I've done on these shelves here. At this point, everything was starting to come together and I was very happy with how everything was looking. But I did want to add a little something to this trunk over here by our front window. This is basically the only spot that gets good sunlight and isn't in a walkway or a doorway. And so I keep my trunk here with a few of my plants that really like the sun. I have a couple that are okay in the shade areas or where there's not a whole lot of sunlight, but over here it just felt like it was just missing something, kind of cold. So I stuck a couple of plants in the baskets and I just really like how it adds a little texture over here to this area, and in combination with the soft blanket underneath, I think it just is a nice I don't know what the word is, maybe juxtaposition. It's there, two opposites that come together with the rougher, harder baskets and then the soft blanket. And then I added the lantern in the back as well. Now it's time to move into the kitchen, and of course I'm going to be decorating the shelf up here, one of my favorite places to decorate in my kitchen. I already had a couple of books and a basket and a plant up here that I was already decorating with, but I wanted to dust it all down, and then I'm adding the things back up here and then a few other items as well. So as I mentioned, some of my go-tos are baskets. So of course I have that basket in the back. I have another small plant here. And then I also have this framed picture that I had printed off of the internet, which is another easy go-to for decor pieces. You can frame your own pictures or print something offline. And then my books too was the other thing that is one of my go-tos. And here I'm just adding a couple of little cups. These are ones that were my grandmother's. She had this set. And so I decided to put these out for decor. We used to use them and then one of them broke. And I saw them in an antique store once, and the cup was worth, I think I want to say like $40. And I thought, oh wow, we're not going to use these every day anymore. So now they're just on display along with that little jewelry box. Now I'm just going to decorate one more little area. This little corner in my kitchen was looking a little bare, so I decided to warm it up with a cutting board and then also a jar with some of my old wooden spoons. And I think it looks really cozy in this little corner. It needed something, so I'm liking how it's looking. Now that all of my decorating is done, it's time for me to do my dishes, as you can see. So I'm going to get onto those dishes. Thanks for joining me in today's video, and I'll see you in the next one.